Jason, a 16-year-old boy, overweight and shy, struggled through high school as the constant target of bullying during gym class. The jeers and taunts from his classmates echoed in his ears. "Hey, Jason, try running without shaking the whole school," one bully sneered, while another added, "Maybe if you roll instead, you'll be faster." His best friend, Ethan, stood by silently, offering nothing but a sympathetic glance. Jason, gripping his backpack tightly, lowered his head and wished he could disappear. That night, Jason stood in front of his full-length mirror. Tears streaming down his face, he clenched his fists, his heart weighed down by despair. "I can't take this anymore. I just want to disappear," he whispered. His dimly lit room suddenly flickered with an eerie silver glow. Wiping his eyes, Jason gazed back at the mirror, his breath hitching as he saw something impossible the moon reflected, shining directly on him. Before he could react, a sudden boom erupted from the glass, sending a shockwave through his body. He gasped as he levitated, his bones shifting, muscles tightening, fat melting away like mist. His features sharpened, his hair flowed like that of a model, and his body became sculpted like a Greek god. His eyes glowed silver before dimming, then as quickly as it began, it was over. Jason collapsed onto the floor, gasping for breath. The next morning, Jason awoke and instinctively looked at his hands. They were different, larger, stronger. His heart pounded as he rushed to the mirror, where he was met with an unbelievable sight. A 10-tenths chiseled god stared back at him. His jawline was sharp enough to cut glass, his ABS sculpted to perfection, his once baggy pajamas barely containing his powerful physique. A smirk formed on his lips. No freaking way returning to school that day. Jason walked through the gates and the entire student body fell silent. Girls swooned, whispering excitedly to each other, while the guys glared in envy. Rachel, the most popular girl in school, gasped, "Who is that?" The bullies who had tormented him before stared in disbelief. "That can't be Jason," one of them muttered. Jason smirked, flashing his now perfect teeth. Out of nowhere, a football soared toward him at high speed. Without thinking, he caught it with one hand. The sheer impact sent a shockwave through the air. Silence followed before an eruption of gasps and exclamations. "What the hell?" The crowd shouted in unison. Jason flexed his fingers, realizing something else: super strength. The school's quarterback, Liam, approached him cautiously, stunned beyond words. "Dude, who are you?" he asked. Jason simply smiled and replied, "Just a guy who had enough." Without breaking a sweat, he launched the football halfway across the field, landing it perfectly into the goalpost. The crowd erupted into cheers, their previous judgments erased in an instant. Jason had transformed, not just in appearance, but in power, confidence, and presence, and this was only the beginning.